Okay, so right here we're going to discuss is the relation a function? Is this relation a function? Are all these order pairs a function? Well, how do we determine if it's a function? Well, we determine if it's a function as long as, let me use this color. It is, it is a function as long as um, one x value corresponds um, to one y value. What that means is that um, you can have the same x value correspond to two y values. So I'm going to show you visually. Before that, let's state the domain. So what is the domain? Remember, the domain are all the x values. So let's write that. I'm going to put D for domain. The domain. So we know a domain is 1, 3, oops. There you go. 1, 3, 5, 7. And then let's state the range. The range, we know that are all the y values, 2, 4, 6, 8. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so it is a function as long as one x value corresponds to one y value. So let's draw a little chart right here. Okay, so I'm going to call the x value the inputs, input, and the y values the output. So I'll put y and I'll put right here x. Okay, draw a little line like this. Oh, that's ugly. There you go. Uh, that's good. Okay, so let's put all the x values, all the inputs. We're gonna move this over here. So we know it. We have 1, we have a 3, we have a 5, and we have a 7. And for the range, move it 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so how do we connect these? Well, look up here. Okay, so right here we know that 1 and 2 are together, x and y. These order pairs are together. So 1 goes to 2, 3 goes to 4. It's really simple. 5 corresponds to 6, and 7 corresponds to 8. So as you can see, there's only one x value corresponds to just one y value. So therefore, um, it is a function. It is a function. Okay, so I'm gonna do another one and show you what isn't a function. Let me start a new one over here. Okay, so what isn't a function? I'll put is not a function. Is not a function. Okay, so let's draw a relation, a set of all order pairs. I'm gonna draw a relation. Okay, I'm gonna do 1, 3, 1, 5, 3, -2, and -2, 5. No, not 5. Let's do um, 7. That is our relation. Remember our first step, let's state the domain. Domain are all the x values. So we write D for domain. So we know it's 1. There's two ones, so we don't have to repeat it. Just leave it 1 by itself. 3 and -2. Uh, you could also, it's best if you write the -2 on this side, but that's fine though. It's still right. It's still correct. It just looks better, neater. Let's state the range. We know that the range are all the y values, or the outputs. 3, 5, -2, and 7. Okay, so why is this not a function? Well, let's draw it again. Let's do it over here. These are x, these are the inputs, and these are the y's, the outputs. Let's draw a little chart. Okay, so let's drag all this over. 1, okay, 3 and -2, and then we have 3, 5, -2, and 7. Okay, so let's see. 1 corresponds to 3, looking up here. Okay, and 1 also corresponds to 5. And then right here, 3 corresponds to -2, -2 to 7. Okay, so you see, it's only a function if one x only corresponds to one y value, but right here it's corresponding to two y values. Therefore, it is not a function. It just isn't a function. Um, I'm going to show you an example over here on the side, a better example. It has to do with also a vertical line test, but I'll show you that in another video. But for now, let me show you an example. Okay, I'm going to put right here, let's see, cities. Uh, uh, cities. And I'm going to put right here population. Okay, I'm going to make these numbers off the top of my head. Remember, this is the domain, and this is the range. So cities, let's put Los Angeles, LA, another city, um, let's see, Ventura. How about that? Ventura, another city, um, Oxnard. How about that? I don't know the exact population, but I would just put it anyway. Okay, so let's say population, let's just put some random numbers. 15,000, 40,000. Okay, just like that. Okay, so in LA, um, there's 40,000 people. Oops, different color. In LA, there are 40,000 people. There's probably more than that, but let's just say. Okay, there are more than that. There's a lot more people than that. I can guarantee that. Ventura, say there are 15,000. Okay. And then Oxnard, there are 15,000 population and 40,000. Okay, well, that doesn't make any sense. You can't, how can there be two separate populations in one specific area? It's impossible. I mean, you can't say that. um, it's either one or the other. You know, you see that's a visual example. Oxnard can have this population and also have this population. No, you can't do that. You cannot do that. It's either this one or this one. And by looking over here, you see, it's the same idea. You just can't do that. In the next video, I'll explain the vertical line test. It has to do with plotting these ordered pairs. And you'll be able to, just by looking at a graph, you'll be able to look at it and say it is not a function, it is a function.